Hi, this is Leslie from Mermaid Cove Studio. I'm on today with week 2 of our Spring Fever Hop. This is with Tiffany McGill from Crafting Like a Boss on YouTube. She has a Facebook group. It's called Coffee, Cake, and Crafting, and that's where this comes out of. So if you haven't joined the group, come join us. She does hops, she does swaps. There's a lot of fun in there, a lot of lovely people there. There are several of us. We did last week where we needed to do some type of a box, and this week it's hearts and flowers. This week we're releasing on February 14. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm choosing to use Echo Park's Valentine's Day paper for a tutorial. Now, I've never done a tutorial on my YouTube channel, so here's to 2025 and new beginnings and new things. So we're going to try it and see how it works out, and if it doesn't, you'll never see it. Anyway, this was my project. I have this sweetest little bulldog who is about 11 and a half years old. He's struggling, but he's still quite a sweet little guy. So I took a couple different components to build this project, and I thought I would show how to do that today. Kind of a quick version of it. I prepared a bunch of things ahead of time to simplify it, but I think everybody understands the gist if you've done projects. This is Scrap Diva's, let's see what I've got here. This is the Scrap Diva. This is the A2, A4, something like that, card shadow box. And that's what I used. You make the box, you put your acetate in it, and I chose to incorporate it. I'm going to set this aside. So remember what that looks like. So when you see how I've put my box together, I cut this out several times in heavy cardstock and then in the pretty designer paper. And then I decided to do this one. I don't know if you remember this die. This one here was the Stamp Mini Album from Scrap Diva. And I want to say this was last year Valentine, possibly. Absolutely loved it. I did a lot of projects with it last year. And so it came to mind that this would make a really good frame. Now, what I will tell you, it fit on there. It's not perfect at all, but it still looks good. But I think that if you have anything like this, and I'm going to show you samples, I also took this, this die, and you can cut out the middle of this because it has the cutout for it. I didn't bring it with me, but you can cut out the center and it can do the same thing on the back on here. Now, because it's for Valentine's and I am creating something for my sweetheart, I'm just not going to do the lacy and keep it to the stamp. This one right here came with with these. This is one of the things from it. I think last year I actually made a mini album and I sent it out. It was part of a Valentine or Galentine swap, I believe. Anyway, these two come together and you can see that I put that on the inside. And this one right here, this one might be a KS Craft. And those are my flowers with Scrap Diva's little heart leaves. So we're going to replicate this again in Echo Park's paper, but this is my original. That's my original project right there. So what I did, I went ahead and I prepped this. I did a heavy cardstock, 110-pound cardstock, because I want it to be sturdy, and I'm gifting it. Now, what I do with it after I've created this part, this one, I turned this one into a frame. Okay, so what I did was I built this little contraption here so it would stand up, but also you don't have to do that. I might turn this project to be the front cover of a mini album with all of pictures of my honey bear and I. We go on little adventures, and we always do a selfie. So at the beginning of December last year, we went for my husband's birthday, my honey bear's birthday. We went to the Dominican Republic, and we celebrated his birthday and met his family and all kinds of wonderful things that were going on there. It was a great trip, and this was in front of the Christmas tree at the resort. And this was the picture from last year. So I'm going to put that up in there. So this is this part right here. This all right here, all folded in. And what I did is I cut out, with the designer paper, I cut out another one of these. And I ended up cutting all of these parts, the flaps, these parts right here. I cut it off so that I can make a cover, because this was all white, right? All white. I covered it up with the designer paper just by simply cutting off of this little part here. I just cut a rectangle piece of acetate and I glued that in and I set that aside. So that's my first part, right? I think everybody, this was very simple. It's actually very simple to follow the lines and fold, and it has this nice stitched look on the front of it. You can leave it like that, but I'll show you what I'm going to do with it. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. This is the frame for the front of it, just like on the one that's back here. We're going to glue this on the front, but I think I'm going to leave this to the very end because I haven't decided if that's as far as I want to go or not yet. It's possible, but I've got it ready to go. And if I'm going to use it, it's just going to get glued right on there. But I'm going to set it aside for right now. I cut out the back part. So on these pieces here, you have got a part that cuts out the back to make your pages. And then you've got this part right here too. So this one, oops, here we go. You've got this part right here. So you've got a full piece. I cut out two, okay, because I wanted to make it a little bit stronger, just like I did the front one. So I'm going to glue that really quick together, okay. I'm using my art glitter glue. I like this one. It dries relatively quick. It's kind of cold right now, so I feel like it's it takes just a smidge longer to dry, but it's okay. It gives me a smidge of wiggle room there, right? So we're doing this. This paper was very, very, very pretty. I loved it. My sweet husband went to Frank Garcia's studio because he sometimes goes to Los Angeles to work, and he was able, they know him better than they know me. We live in Northern California, and he goes sometimes to work down south, and he will stop in to pick up goods for me. And they're so lovely there. They will FaceTime and take me through the store to pick up whatever I want. But he already has a list, and I only ask if he has time. If he doesn't have time, I never ask. He goes, if I have time, I will go and get you whatever you want. And I'm like, oh my God, you're so sweet. He is very, very sweet. Okay, so I've glued a little bit heavier cardstock. I'm going to say this one's 65 pound. And then the designer paper, I could have done 110. It'll make it a little bit stronger, but because I'm thinking about turning it into a mini album, this might just be okay. Okay, the next part I'm going to do, I cut out this piece right here. This is the center part from right here. Nothing goes to waste, right? That's from there. I am going to glue this inside of here. There's just so much you could do with it. I mean, whatever paper. I'm not giving any measurements or anything like that because this is simply an idea. So I'm going to glue that on. Again, check out that piece of paper. So adorable. We're going to get that glued on. Set that off to the side. Here we go. Kind of sad to cover up those hearts, but I think it's okay. See how well I can get this in here. I am literally doing this through my camera. I think that looks pretty good. And we can make sure that we get that down. Make that really nice and tidy. Nice and flat. Okay. Simple. Okay. Next, what we're going to do is, I know that I'm going to want my picture to be up here in this corner. So I have this cute little Sprocket printer. Love this. I love doing quick projects with my grandchildren with it for their parents. And it's like a little I want to say like 2x3 picture. I cut this one down because this is what I needed from it. And here we go. So I think I'm going to bring this one right about here. Let's see. I think right about there. Up a little higher. The whole idea is it doesn't need to be symmetrical. There's nothing symmetrical about me. I love it being a little wonky, a little bit covered up. I mean, look at that face. Anyway, so I think this is good. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of this one. Go. Kind of. Hopefully I don't want to make my first tutorial too long. But I also want it to look really cool because it is going to be a gift. Every year, we don't buy, he buys gifts. I don't. I am one of acts of service, that kind of thing. And I love being creative and giving him these types of gifts. And believe it or not, he will put these, the little mini albums that I make for him with our pictures in them. Anything like that, our children, our animals, our grandchildren. I try to incorporate all of the things, like for Valentine's, all of the love stuff. He keeps it on his desk. Like he keeps it where you can see it. And I'm always impressed that he does that because I'm very sentimental, but I also realize he is also very sentimental. These smiles right here we've been together more than 35 years. 6 kids later, we're having a lot of fun still. Okay, so this is my base right here. Okay, I'm going to set that down. What I'm going to do next is this part that says love here that we cut out. The letters are not stacked together. They do come apart. And this is what happens with them. They're individual letters. And they have cute hearts for the love part. And what I did, I've also done my flowers. What I did is I cut them out with the polka dot paper that was in there, in this beautiful pack of paper right here. Loved it. It was hard to choose the paper from here. But what I did is I cut it out in the polka dot paper, and I also cut it out in gold. And I kind of moved moved it over just a little bit so you could see the gold underneath, and then put my polka dots on top and kind of offset it, I believe is the word I'm looking for. Okay. And with the heart, I cut this one out twice. I really liked how that looked. This part right here, the gold, cut out and left just this little outside part, and then there was the inside. Okay. I cut it out twice. I did one in gold. It's actually 2. Gold and polka dots. And I'm going to incorporate them both into my picture frame and put flowers in here. Now, in this one, I have a piece of acetate that is holding, that the word love is actually placed on. And in my overthinking process, I wanted to figure out how I could do that so that it kind of was raised off of the picture and kind of in between, give it a little bit of dimension. I love 3D projects, so that's kind of where I'm at. So I thought, well, I did some creasing here, some bending and folding, and I think I can make this work. We'll see, but I want to put the word love on here, and I want it to kind of stand off in my picture frame. So we're going to see how this works out. I'm going to use glue, and I know there's probably better ways to do this, but this is what is going to work for us today. I'm making it work today. I would probably do better with tape, but I think that this is what I want. So I want it to kind of look like it's floating. And we're going to have to probably go back in here and clean this up, of course. Okay. I can deal with that because that'll dry clear. That's the beauty of this. And then I'm going to take the heart. Excuse my hand. Put this right down here. I'm going to take the heart and I'm going to put that one kind of, I think I'm going to kind of offset it a little bit. I think that'll be cute. Make it a little wonky looking, and I think that'll be fine. It'll be fun. Okay. I want to make sure I give it enough support because I am going to put a flower on it. Because remember, today is about hearts and flowers. So here we go. I like how that looks. Now, I'm going to tell you with this particular part today, I'm actually flying by the seat of my pants. I did not try this out to see if it was going to work. I'm hoping it's going to work. The one that I did with the dog on it is a little bit different. I did it a little bit. I put acetate across there, and then as I was overthinking my project, because that's what I usually do, I was thinking about different ways that I could make this work. I think we're going to do this. Let's see, make sure you can see it. Now, I know that L is starting to look a little weird, but I think we know that this is love, right? We know this is all love. Just by the smiles in the picture, you can tell it's love. It is love. Okay, I can't sing, but I'm going to be funny because I'm going to just embarrass myself. Here we go. Here's the E. Remind you, flying by the seat of my pants. We are going to make this work. Oops. And I know this glue dries mostly clear. I'm not going to worry that the heart is getting a little bit covered up there with the letters because I am going to put a beautiful flower on it. And we're going to see. It's all going to work out, right? It's all going to work out. That's what I'm going to tell you. It's all going to work out. These are fun to me. I love making flowers. Probably one of my most favorite things to do is make flowers. I can sit. Let's get that into the shot. So you kind of know that there's a heart there, right, in the background. But do not despair. There'll be another heart right there. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think so. Let's see what it looks like in here. So because I'm flying by the seat of my pants and doing this part right here, even though it's going to be a little bit up into the picture, I'm okay with it because it's dimensional, you know? And when you're looking at it, just like you do the dog one, that one, the way that I put it together didn't kind of hold up, and that's why I wanted to rethink this a little bit. But I think this is what's going to happen here. We're going to do this, and then we're going to add another flower. Hopefully all of that will fit inside of my frame. That's the plan. Okay, I'm really liking how that looks. So we're going to go ahead and put some glue on here. How I made these hold together was I just took a scrap piece of paper to hold the inner part of the heart with the line. And when you see, let me show you how that cut out. Let me see if I can show you. If you can see how that cut out, you know that we got the in part and the out part. I know there's names for it. I have no clue what they are. I don't think it's going to make a difference, but here we go. Here is this. And we're going to set this aside and let it dry a little bit while we figure out if the rest of that's going to go in. We're going to put the flower on it because the flowers are a must. And because I have flowers on the outside on this other project, I don't know if I'm going to put flowers on the outside of this one yet, because the idea is the same. The process is similar. But this is me showing you the dies. It's showing what you can do with your project. I don't, no sizes, you decide that. If this is a die that you have. I know there are plenty of tutorials that teach you how to make shadow boxes, because before I got that die, that's what I did. I was making shadow boxes a different way. But I love this die, and if I want a bigger project, then I know how to make this project from scratch. But the die is absolutely perfect for this size, for small, cute little projects. Just like this. Is there another project like this out in the world? I have no clue. Didn't look for any. This is just my version of what I wanted to do for my sweetheart. Oh, that is gorgeous. Seriously, you could even, without putting that shadow box on it, you could just leave it like this and put it on a stand, like I did this one, without the rest of the shadow box. But I think that the shadow box does just something extra to it. I absolutely love it. Let me see. Okay, here we go. That's what that looks like. The glue's going to need a little bit of time, but let me see here how we're going to work out, if it's going to be everything. Oh my gosh. What do you think? I know there's a little bit of glare on it, but that is adorable. Oh my gosh, he's so handsome. He still makes my heart flutter. Yeah, here we go. All right. So you can kind of see what's going to happen next, right? We're going to glue this on. And if we want, we can also glue this on. And I think I'm probably going to go ahead and do that. I am going to do that because I like that finished look of the frame. That is outstanding. And then, yeah, I'm probably going to put flowers on it. I'm going to use my flowers. I did not cut out these guys yet, but I will cut them out in gold and put them on. These are the smaller leaf. Absolutely adorable, just like these here. Just like the ones in here. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this on. I think we're good. I think everybody, you kind of get the idea, right? So we're going to now take and we're going to put glue all the way around. And keep it in the shot here. And then we will get it to stay on. I absolutely adore this project. Okay. All right. So let me see how I'm going to get that on. Oops. Sorry about all the hands in there. Okay, there it is again. And here we go. We're going to slip that over the top. So I guess just being mindful about how deep it's going to be, how much dimension you're going to put in it, if that's going to work out. Like I said, I am literally flying by the seat of my pants on this one because it's a little bit different how I put it together. And I think because I was overthinking that part right there, like how to make that, because I see that it's laying down on the picture and it's not like you can open it up and redo that. So once it was glued shut, it was glued shut. But by thinking about it here, or overthinking, because that's what I do, I am a big time overthinker. And I don't usually fly by the seat of my pants. I usually have a plan. But I knew that I had to go with confidence, walk in faith, if you will, just to make that work. Okay, so we got that glued together. This is what it looks like on the back. And depending if I decide to make it a picture frame and gift it like this, or if I turn it into another little book that actually can stand up, still remains, I still have to decide that part. Okay, and then what we have left, sorry about my light up there in the glare. My plan was to have done this earlier today, but that didn't quite work out the way that I thought it would. Okay, here we go. There was some background noises that just didn't quite work out for the video I started earlier. But here we go. So we're just going to glue this on to it. And mind you, if you have any type of like these nesting dies, you can make your own. Whatever it is that you want to have on your outside, like what I'm doing here, like your frame. It doesn't have to be this. I was hoping that actually what I did was I did start this one, and this will still be the same thing. It's not just on this project. It didn't feel right to me. And granted, flowers and whatnot, it's not so masculine, but it's a lot of love. Okay, look at that. Just glue that on, make sure it's all attached. Looks good. Looks really good. I mean, this would be cool if it were wider, but I think for myself that wasn't, the big deal. The way that I thought about this one is by cutting out the second piece in designer paper and making it fit over the heavier cardstock frame was how we were going to make this. I mean, it just looks more finished, and it is a gift, and so I want to be sure that is more done. I want to make sure everything is sticking really nice. We'll give it time to, you can see here it's trying to do its job. The glue is trying to stick on, so it'll work. Okay, so here's what we look like right now. It looks really good. Nothing hard about it. It took me longer to think about how to put it together than actually putting it together, so I'm really excited about that. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do the flowers. Just let me see here. I might have to cut out more flowers. I'm going to think about the flowers because I've already got 2 flowers on the inside. Maybe I'll put them up here or here. Depends if I make it a book or not. Okay. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to make it a book. I feel like I was going to make it a little mini album or a folio or something. I think that'd be cute. But this is my project for this week for the hop. You know, if you have, there's some great tutorials for flowers out there. These, I'm pretty sure I watched Let's Get Scrappy, Tiffany from Let's Get Scrappy, about making flowers. And I sat while she chatted and I made flowers one time. And I liked how these were. There's a lot of different dies. I have a lot of different dies, but I like the shape of this flower. There's also a bigger one of the same one, and then this little in part here is metal. Within the die itself, you have, I'll show this to you. Oh, I absolutely love that. You have on this die where you can cut these out. So I have a tendency to cut them all out in whatever I'm going to cut it out in, like the pink or the red. And then I'll come back and I'll put gold on it. And yes, you're going to cut out the rest of that if you want, but I also have a die that just does these center parts. But these that I have currently, these are metal. And then I put, let me get these little guys right here, the little gemstones, the little jimmies from Recollections. And I mean, there's all the different colors in here. And I just picked out the pink ones for all of them. And I dropped them into, oops, this one's still a little bit damp. Yeah, the metal. I just use the art glitter glue and it holds them in just fine. You can also use your hot glue gun, but I didn't have any more glue sticks, so this is how we ended up with it. But that's it. That's all this was. The paper that I used for the one with my dog Rico is, this one might be, I think it's Recollections. I'm going to say it's Recollections. It's from an old paper pad, and I smashed it doing all of these projects for this hop. So in here you can see a little bit of a difference on how it was made, but basically all the same, and how different it looks with the different papers. But I like how the overthinking, however you can make that part work. I love acetate. I love vellum as well, but that really worked out well. And I like that it's holding everything up off of the picture. So you can see your picture in the background. And then this is kind of sitting, it's dimensional. And that makes me very happy. And then the flowers are all in there dimensional as well. So, all right, my friends. My first tutorial. I hope it wasn't too confusing. Just basic. You can see the dies. If you have questions, please say hello and ask away. Please, down below will be the rest of the hop creators. A very, very lovely group of creators and very talented. So go click on each one of their links and go see what they did. And today's topic, the topic that we're releasing is hearts and flowers, because it's going to be for Valentine's. It's Valentine's. So go check everybody out. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm here for it. Have fun. Have a spectacular heart day and spend it with those that you love. Happy Valentine's.